Alright, let's take myself off mute. There we go. Time to get ready. Going to be unlocking Echoes of Vana'diel. So, this will be an interesting one for me. Probably somewhat nostalgic, but I will probably also have to admit I don't think I'm going to get most of what's going on. So, I did play Final Fantasy XI, but I only played it all until I think the Treasures of Ugan was the current expansion, and I stopped playing sometime in the middle of that expansion. At the time, while I did have quite a bit of free time, I wasn't really part of a raiding guild. I was more social in that game. And I kind of had a lot going on socially at that time, so I was focused more on that. And also, you gotta think, at this time, it wasn't a great time for a lot of guides, or it wasn't as easy to get into online communities. And I wasn't trying. So I never really got into the raiding scene. Like, I don't think I did a single raid in 11. I don't even know what the raids were at this point, to be honest with you. I was mostly leveling characters, right? In that game, just like this one, you could be every job, but the grind was real. This was at a time in MMOs where EverQuest was kind of like the model to follow. WoW hadn't come out yet, if I remember right. And even when WoW came out, I didn't start playing WoW until Burning Crusade came out. I was way behind on the MMO scene. The idea of paying a monthly sub was not great. Like, I didn't really want to do it. And that being, you know, the age I was at the time, you know, it's like I really didn't have a lot of decision making on that endeavor. So playing 11, I mean, I remember spending probably 90% of my time in Volcrum Dunes because I kept switching jobs and trying them out. And I went to extraordinary lengths to unlock some of the jobs. Like, you had to do some crazy shit to unlock some jobs, like unlocking ninja. Like, you had to sneak your way through a cave. That if you didn't have a party just going through and fighting, you had to sneak your way through a cave. And in that game, monsters had auditory cues. They could see you, they could hear you, they could smell you. And there were items that you could use to prevent some of those things. Like, you could make it so that you didn't make noise. And you could also make yourself invisible. The problem is, sometimes they could still smell you. So if you got too close to the enemy, they'd still detect you. And to get into the ninja cave, you had to do the right sequence of events, but you also had to sneak through this cave. And this isn't a game where maps weren't guaranteed. If you didn't buy the map from a vendor in some other city, you did not have a map. And even if you had a map, it only gave you a vague idea of where you were sometimes. Like, there were no markers to the next quest or anything like that. Everything was learned by the community. It's kind of neat, actually. A lot of stuff was shared knowledge by the community. So even though, you know, like nowadays, if something were to exist like that, you'd find that information on a website and you'd be done with it. Because all that information would just be out there, right? Everybody would find it, it'd be unlocked, and wouldn't be a big deal. Back then, you had to... It was a communal thing. The internet wasn't as centralized. I'm pretty sure Google wasn't a thing still at this point. Like, it was not easy. You had to know where to go sometimes to find information. I remember going to some zones where it's like you could unlock a chocobo at some point in the game, and it still didn't guarantee you could get from point to point because I think the chocobo riding was limited. And while you could run from place to place, I don't think monsters... I'm trying to think. I don't believe monsters would aggro you on mount. But here's the thing about games back in that era, especially Final Fantasy XI. If you aggroed a monster, you were not losing that aggro. Monsters in Final Fantasy XI would chase you to the ends of the earth. I think there might have been some that had leash ranges, but the majority of the time, 99% of the time, if you made something angry, you were running to the zone, right? You were running to the load wall, right? That was just a thing. The phrase train to zone was often used when a party was done in an area or someone had miraculously aggroed something and they were booking it, all right? They were trying to get the shortest distance to the zone so they could get rid of the aggro that was on them. And as part of that, that usually meant the train was a group of monsters on their ass. And if you even dared to try and help that person, that train would be on you next. All you could do was sit and watch. Now, if that person was lucky, they get to the zone. If they weren't, they die. And in 11, when you died, you lost experience, and you could de-level. And one of the worst feelings in that game was having just got a new set of gear, and if you had sold your old set of gear, you suddenly de-leveled and you couldn't wear your new gear anymore, and you were now essentially naked. Now, thankfully, there weren't as many gear sets, right? Like, there were only so many levels of gear. It was actually you considered yourself very lucky when you finally got to a new section of gear. Like, I wore a frickin' brass subligar for way longer than I care to admit, because it took that long to get a new piece of gear. And that's how it was. So if you were lucky, that if there were healers in the area, they could resurrect you. And then you would actually, as long as you were resurrected by a healer, you would gain the experience back. If you had to respawn back in town, you definitely lost that experience. So it wouldn't be an uncommon thing for people in the world to cry out for a healer to res them. Because one of two things could happen. One, if they needed their XP back. Or two, their spawn was so far out of the way. Like, especially if you were in a leveling group, or if you went to Valkyrm's Dunes yourself to level, the effort it took to get to that zone, you did not want to repeat that. You wanted to stay in that zone. Now, I would sit there and camp at the edge of the zone, just shouting out for groups in that region in case anyone ever lost a party member. I'd be like, hey, so-and-so LFG. And one of the cool things about that game is the combat was slower, so some things you could do is, there were things called combo chains. So weapon skills as we know them, where we push a button, we do a thing, that existed in 11, but they were on timers. They were on cooldown timers far longer than what we have here. You had an auto attack. Your character would basically auto attack most of the time, and then every now and then you'd use an ability button to do a certain ability. Because in that game we had TP. So TP in Final Fantasy XIV, completely different system. Back when TP existed, you had 100 of it, and every time you used a skill, you used some TP. In 11, the TP gauge was like a super bar, if you will. You could charge it up. I forget if it could charge up over 100%, but generally when it hit 100%, you were allowed to use a weapon skill. And you had a list to choose from. Each weapon skill had an element affiliation with it. And in this game, elements were a big deal. Monsters had immunities, resistances, absorptions, and all of that to certain elements. They don't do that anymore because they want to do things like the mage, right? You do fire and ice. If you couldn't do those, then you're screwed and you're useless. They don't want to do that. But back then, in 11, for example, a black mage had access to all of the elements. And each of your weapon skills was associated with an element. If you worked it out with your party, what you would do is you'd create a macro that says, hey, I'm about to do this weapon skill. And beforehand, what you would do is in your group of your party, you'd be like, hey guys, I have these weapon skills, right? I've learned these weapon skills so far. What weapon skills do we have with our group? And someone like me, I had a printout of all the weapon skills everybody should have at what level. So I knew, okay, I'm a Dragoon, I've got Pentathrust, That's lightning aspect. Let's see. We've got like a bard. He may have like an arrow that was something like that. Okay, cool. If I pentathrust and then you do this other ability, or maybe vice versa, at the same time, or not really at the same time, it had to be chained. It had to be one and then immediately the other, which is why you did a macro, because they had to do it at the right time. Like the moment you did your skill, they had to start their skill. You would cause a weapon burst. And this weapons burst would create an elemental combustion, as it were. Both of your weapon skills would resonate, and then there would be this bang of extra damage that you got to do. And you could chain these things, right? So like you could have 3 or 4 weapon skills go off, and each one might have a different elemental affiliation. And then here's the key. The moment, so if you knew you were about to do one of those, and again, this is why you had a macro, your black mage in the party would start casting the relevant elemental skill at the time you're starting it, right? Because cast times were long, really long. Like magic was a big deal in 11. When you cast a spell, that monster was going to feel it. But in this case, you would basically not be casting anything, waiting for the weapon skill chain to go off, and the moment the first player started doing their skill, you'd start casting the element. Because by the time you were done casting, the second skill should have gone off. And if you combined the two, so like let's say that they had a lightning burst, and I cast thunder, they would get the lightning burst, and then I would get a magic burst, because I combined the thunder spell with their thunder burst of 2 weapon skills going off. And not only would they get a burst of damage, I'd get a burst of damage. And you did this shit not just in like big fights, you did this in leveling, because even leveling, you were taking a long time to kill a creature. Things did not die that fast. It was crazy. It was crazy fun, right? And I absolutely enjoyed it for the time. It is definitely something I would not have time for today, which is unfortunate. But I think the idea behind it was neat, but you definitely needed a lot of time to do anything in 11. There have been multiple expansions and stuff like that since. I did not see most of the world. So probably a lot of what they're going to reference here, I'm not going to get. I didn't get to a lot of the in-game zones. I do know that the first area we're going to is called Juno. And that was kind of a central hub for Final Fantasy XI. Basically, in Final Fantasy XI, you started in, kind of like 11, you would start in like one of 3 central city-states, which mirrored the ones we see now, right? I was a Vana'diel main, which kind of was like I almost want to say Gridorian, but I don't think that's right. It was Vana'diel was it was definitely a city, so it might be more Ul'dah-like. But anyway, you had the city states that you started in, and eventually all roads lead to Juno. It was the central location of the world. Because from Juno, you would go out to all these other locations. And as part of your journey as a fledgling adventurer, you had to get there, because that's how you got an airship pass. In Final Fantasy XI, you used airships all the time. And the airships ran on a real-time schedule. Like, it literally took, I think, half an hour on an airship. Like, you had to ride the airship. You would get on the airship, you would wait for it to take off, you would travel on the airship, and then it would land. Like, there was no loading to the next zone. It was, you are on this ship, and you are spending time on this ship. But that's the thing, is all the city-states connected to Juno through airships. So you had to go to Juno, get your airship pass, and then you had a way to go back and forth between the two. And I'll be honest, that's probably about as far as I really got. There were a few areas outside of that. Like, I leveled outside of Juno, and in one of its areas where I remember there being this big tower that you had to ascend, but most leveling parties could only get to like the 2nd or 3rd floor of this tower, and the higher floors were just far too damaging. I don't know what was eventually at the top. Things like that. I mean, like, seriously, I was a super casual in Final Fantasy XI. I should probably go back at some point. I've heard they've made it a lot more, you know, newbie friendly. There were a few classes, very few. Beastmaster being one, which is why I'm kind of looking forward to Beastmaster coming out in 14 here. But Beastmaster was one of those classes that could actually solo in the game. Every other class, no. Nope. You had to be in a party. But Beastmaster could do it because they would train a monster, an actual monster from the field, and just take it with them. And that's how you'd do it, because then you'd have the monster taking aggro, taking the hits, and you would support them. Anyway, that is what that was. So I'm going to have... I'm pretty sure I'm not going to know what the heck's going on. But we're going to try this. Time to go forward. Okay. All right, well, here we go. This is our Final Fantasy reference, Final Fantasy XI reference. This Hobiko messenger is looking for a well-traveled adventurer. And that's going to be us. Fun times to be had by all. Say, aren't you Malik? That certainly saves me a lot of trouble. I was asked to find you on behalf of Milalja. Curious happenings abound in Mamuk of late, and we thought one of your worldly experience may be able to help us make sense of things. If you have the time and inclination to aid us, she awaits you in Mamuk. You'll find her west of the plaza, in the large building near the two-headed statue. Alright. So this is going to be in Mamuk. This is where I'm curious, like, how this is going to be. Is this going to be like a reflection thing? Is it going to be like just in this zone? How is it going to relate? Was this Bakul Jaja's mother? Thank you for coming. Truth be told, I was unsure if I was right to call on you, but the troubles we now face cannot be overcome with our strength alone. It all began when we found a fallen traveler in the sky-deep cenote. For a mercy, his wounds were not life-threatening. His kind is not a common sight in these lands, tall and slender of build with pointed ears. He has yet to awaken, but speaks in his sleep of strange things that make little sense to us. It was our hope that you might recognize something in his ramblings, or perhaps even jog his memory once he regains consciousness. Might you be willing to speak with him? Alright. Milalja, the traveler stirs. Very good. Would you be so kind as to bring him here? From her description, we're talking Elizan. Or Elvan, I believe is what they were called then. Oh my god, that is classic 11 armor. We are glad to see you awake and in good health besides. May I ask your name, traveler? My name? I'm sorry. I can't remember. It would seem the fall has affected his memory. In any case, his presence here is a complete mystery to us. His armor is the only hint as to where he once came. Does anything about him strike you as out of the ordinary? Dang, that is very classic. Looks like your typical adventure to me. Not much different from any other Elizan I've met. Or would that be Eldite? Let's go with that. Elizan? Eldite? No, that's not quite right. Yeah, see, I had a feeling. The reason I thought about bringing that up was because I knew the name had changed. So if he is from another world or reflecting 11, he would know his race by another name. I remember. I'm an Elvan adventurer. Yep. We're going with the names. I've noticed that in every reflection they use different names for all the races, so that this kind of hints that maybe he's from a reflection. But that would be weird. That's where I'm confused here. Like, how is this going to play into that? And you're Mamulja. Could it be I've come to Mamuk? I forget if those things were the same in 11. Wait. If I'm in Mamuk, then I must have been taken prisoner. To so readily believe us enemies, perhaps he comes from a land unfamiliar with our customs, across the Salt. Man, I remember in Sandaoria, in the place I started, right outside the city, in the newbie area, there was an orc encampment, whose name I can't remember. But I remember this orc encampment because literally as a level 1 adventurer, you would go outside and there would be these level 13 orcs right there. You tried anything near them and they were killing you in one hit. It was, man, that was a welcome to MMOs moment right there. My goodness. Like, they were not pulling punches. Like, the monster levels could vary wildly from one zone to the next in that game. You had to kind of inspect them. Like, they didn't show their levels in that game. You had to do a check, and it would say, this monster seems like easy prey. This monster seems like an even match. Like, there was no UI for this. You had to actually go in, do the command, and it would give you a text box that told you this. And if the monster was sufficiently powerful, it would say impossible to gauge. And what a lot of people thought was that impossible to gauge just meant, oh, it was super, super, super strong. No, it was literally impossible to gauge. There were some monsters that registered on that level that were actually not that hard. But typically a monster that was far more powerful than you would show up on that. So that's why most people just considered that to be, oh yeah, this thing's gonna kill you. And the sad thing is, even if something said it was easy prey, you would more than likely not be able to solo it outside of the starting areas. Like, easy prey was only easy prey if you were prepared with a party. Oh man. Here we go. Could be from Eorzea. Not so sure. Maybe he came from Alexandria? I mean, he's coming from somewhere else. Let's use that. We've no way to know for certain. In which case... Mirelja! We must gather our strongest fighters at once! Why? What's happened? Guru Jaja's shade has returned. It's been sighted near Gokdrak Descent. Bakul Jaja has engaged the apparition, but I fear the worst. Wait, why would it show up again? The vow of resolve's companion from the far east of the Brotherhood. I suspect you would understand the graveness of this situation better than most. In recent days, the late Dawn servant Shade has been seen wandering the woods of Vana'diel. I have reason to believe it was invoked in like manner to the one used in the feat. Only a privileged few of the Bonewa should be privy to the knowledge required to perform the rite. The culprit will be found in time. But we've a more pressing matter at hand now. I must hurry and inform the Landsguard. Makul Jaja requires reinforcements. The Dawn servant's shade. I fear he may not hold out until the guard assembles. I am loath to ask such a favor, but would you aid Makul Jaja in this battle? I'm in your debt. Gokdrak descent is to the west of here. Please, go and help my son. Just gonna leave the Elizan dude. Or the Elvan. Makul Jaja. And I forgot about that weird, like, three-fingered gauntlet fit. Well, that's way over there. Get on your bikes and ride! The thing that's going to be sad is I'm not going to recognize any of the Final Fantasy XI music. I know this. Oh man, just talking about Final Fantasy XI again. It feels so weird. It's like it came from a different time. I mean, it did, right? So... Ah! Someone guacked. Man, I have missed you in the MSQ, buddy. Okay. Oh, man. I have to remember how he talked. I loved his voice. Pathetic. And you dare call yourselves blessed siblings. Not bad. You might actually prove a challenge. If you've come to help, best stay on your guard. He's not alone. Hello. That is one of the most unique fits I have seen in some time. Those are giant gloves. Holy crap. What's this? Another monster in need of slaying? Don't worry. I'll send them packing. Here I go! Nullifying? Drop kick! Oh no, you don't! explain why, but something told me I had to be here. Not bad. Not bad at all. But it'll take more than a couple of Taurus to stop me. Taurus? Taurus? Are you daft, girl? You can speak. A shame you don't seem to have any manners. The name's Prish. You'll do well to remember it. Is it Prish or Prishe? Prish. Dude, those boots! They have massive platforms on them. Ha! Looks like I win. Ah, okay. That's what she thinks she's seeing. Alright. One Taurus down. Taurus! Like, well, okay. One to go. I hope you're ready. At ease, Prish. We've seen to our task. Come. Whatever you say, Umia. Ulmia? What is she talking about? Prish, wait! Please don't go! I'm guessing word that the Dawn Servant Shade is what brought you here. I don't know what the girl has to do with all of this, but clearly she's aligned with whomever summoned them. The way remains open, though there's no telling where it leads. Even so, they can't be allowed to return. We've a duty to protect this forest, and I'll not see it torn apart by some two-headed imposter. Let's hurry after them, brother. Oh yeah, sorry. Let's hurry after them, brother. Watch over that one, won't you? Ah, kind of relying on us for a change. Prisha, what happened to you? Okay. I have to know. Okay. Okay, so Prish was part of Chains of Promethea. You know what? That sounds very familiar. Chains of Promethea was something I think that was either out or was coming out when I was playing. So yeah, I wouldn't know much about her. And I'm guessing Umia is also close friend of Prish, of course. Alright. Neat. Okay. Buddy, what's up? Ooh. Das music. Everything's still hazy, but I recall fighting alongside that girl. We were comrades in arms, I think. But something was clearly wrong with her. She not only mistook me for a monster, but she called her two-headed companion Ulmia. The Ulmia I know is an Elvan woman, far cry from the reptilian fiend we encountered. Something dark has taken hold of her, clouded her mind. I have to go and... Yeah, you're not going anywhere with those wounds. But she needs me. You would go in my stead. I know not how to thank you. I recognize that look. The eyes of a man who's seen more than their fair share of battle. Despite what Prish has done, she was a dear friend to me. I'm fairly certain. Have care, friend. There's no telling what lies beyond that portal. Wow, just right into it, huh? Juno, the first wonk. Okay, well I have it open. Let me see how the pronunciation of this is. Urmia is Urumia. Okay, that makes sense. Prishe is... Purishu. Okay, it's actually Prishu. Prish. It's no, the E is not explicitly said, so it's just Prish. Oh man. Well, this is going to be semi-blind, right? Because this is like, what? It's been out for a few weeks. So people are going to know the fights, I'm not. Which means I'm going to have kind of an advanced tell if people start scattering in different directions. But, it's still new. Give it a go. I wonder if we'll run into Matt in this storyline. M-A-A-T, if I remember it correctly. Matt was... whenever a new expansion came out and the level cap got increased, you had to unlock it. Like, you couldn't just level to the new experience cap. You had to go find this guy Matt, who was kind of like the master of combat at arms, and you had to fight him, and you had to win. And it was one of the few solo fights that you had to do and win, so it wasn't easy. I remember some people just getting stuck. They're like, I need to level up, but I can't because I can't beat Matt. Alright, well, I'm in for a little bit of a wait, probably. So, no, not that long, apparently. Again, I'm not going to recognize any of the music, I'm sure, but I'm keen to see how this plays out, like, in the story of 14. Like, how it's going to be... how it's ultimately going to register. Ooh, bright. That... wow. I remember these streets. Yeah, there's like the stairs on the side. Everything's kind of... oh, but it's broken. So that center does remind me of the center hub, but man, the city is completely broken up. So these streets would be where the airships docked most of the time. So like you had to go to the right corner of the city to get to the right airship. Music's good. Goblin replica. Oh. The goblin thing is weird. Nice, the ominous music. Feels kind of weird to be fighting in the Juno streets. Didn't think she'd be so quick to trade blows.
Careful. That girl is stronger than she looks.
Oh, we're fighting Preesh first? We are. Okay. Preesh of the Distant Chains. Chains of Promethea. Okay, that makes sense.
How about we start with a big fat knuckle sandwich? Here we go! Wait for it!
Is that gonna be... It's gonna be, cascading?
Bam!
Oh, okay, yeah, it cascades,
Is
but
that all you've got?
the spot where she's at also gets it, right? So is this gonna be outside? So we have to be outside here?
Wait for it!
Right, it's gonna hit all the rings, right? God, that's colorful. Yep, it does hit all the rings. Oh! Didn't get in fast enough.
Nervine drop kick to your fat head! Altana, give me strength!
What? Like here? Are they pointing in the direction they're gonna be? Ah, yep.
By the light of the dawn!
Oh my!
Not bad!
That was
Not
a lot.
bad at all! Oh, we're just getting started!
Oh, spikes! Spikes everywhere. I don't like this.
Wait for it!
Wait, what?
Wait for it!
So she's going to the farthest. Oh! Wait, what?
Auroral uppercut!
Oh! Oh, that... It's not her. That was me that was going as far... Oh, you jump up and you grab your butt.
Behold, the blessed power of Altana! You ready for this?
Here we go again, right?
Wait for it! Wait for it! Wait for it! Open your eyes!
Too far? Oh, too far.
Man, is that all? And I was just working up an appetite. This should do it.
She did it 3 times. I should have... I kind of had a feeling it was going to be the farthest one, but I thought I saw the animation on the middle one, so I kind of second-guessed myself on that. She's cool.
Now we're having a party. Time to get serious.
Oh no.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Ah, I thought I dodged the circles. Oh my goodness. You have to dodge 3 points of circles and avoid the... Oh.
You can't stop the flood of mortal existence.
Okay. Neat. Neat. Oh man. Well, I was asking, what are they gonna do with the raids?
still kicking? 'Cause so am I.
I have to try the new major. 25-man content they're going to be doing. I don't know how I'm going to get into that. Okay. Oh, jeez.
Wait for it.
I got struck by that.
Wait for it.
That's 2. Just 2.
Open your eyes.
Just 2.
Eat this. Ouch, that was a good one. Take this and that and one of these.
Okay, it died a couple of times, but could have been worse. I did recognize almost every one of the mechanics as they were happening.
This wasn't how it was supposed to go.
I've a bone to pick with this one. But first... The only way out is forward.
720 gear. Okay, so, okay, it's, oh yeah. Alright, 720.
A forest, huh?
Special rift.
Go. We'll look after the girl.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, this definitely feels like an 11 forest. Giant trees!
What is that? Some kind of Tural Vitral?
Aquarius. Oh gods, and it has company. Group of adventurers that I didn't get to see too well. Okay. Was Aquarius a notorious monster in 11? Oh, probably was.
On your guard. I sense something up ahead. Something big.
Oh, hi.
A dragon. But surely it's no match for you.
Fafnir the Forgotten? Oh! Oh my, I wasn't expecting it to be that big of a tail swipe. How big of an explosion is this going to be? It's going to be big? Okay. Big enough that I couldn't stay in. Oh! Oh! Oh, it wasn't... That's cool. He just created the circle himself. Oh, yep. He's going to drop, and the flames have slowly started to subside, so we get out. Okay. Oh, he's doing the tail again. So a lot of his attacks are just really big. Yep. Starters gather in the area. Oh, yeah, let's get rid of these. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, he's just... Oh, it's getting smaller. Oh my. Oh, this. Cascade. Shoot. Oh, what? Oh no. Oh my. You went flying. There is, man, this is busy. Oh, cool. That's the dotted circle that indicates that he's, like all front cone now. You guys are away. Just had a feeling. I kind of saw him charging up in the center. Paying attention to the dragon there, so I don't know exactly what happened. So stay in. Yep. Out. Oh, too slow. Oh wow, it dazes you for a while. That was cool.
Teleportation magic. Oh, brace yourselves. Aye, so where are we now? And what are these floating ruins?
Oh my. This is interesting looking. I don't think I was ever in a place like this. So, yeah. You know what? I didn't look at any of the... Is anything like... Arms and legs? What about the first loot list? There was a helmet. Oh man. Oh shoot, don't look. Oh my goodness! Yes, 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 the sprinklers. So, this isn't new to 14, because these things definitely did that blind in Deep Dungeon, but yeah, that's... Ooh. Oh, there's... Oh, I like recognize stuff like that. Leatherbound memo. Did I miss something?
Something about that big tower.
Damn it, this path should have led straight to Vana'diel Palace. I'm going to be late for the spawn at this rate. Oh my goodness. Are they talking about like notorious monster spawns? That's awesome. Oh my, where am I going? Is this a boss or is this just a fight? Whoa, that was big. Danger circle. Donut. Despot. Okay, you know what? That fight's almost done. Let's see what this Leatherbound memo says. I could have sworn I defeated those 5 before. Won't be fighting them again alone, that's for sure. I better get out of here before they see me. I recognize teleporters like this, man. Oh, man. I may not have been to some of these places, but certain aesthetics just don't change. Oh, like this. I recognize this internal ruin, man. I was talking about a tower that I couldn't climb. Somewhat similar. Not quite the same, but... Archangel, GK, TT... Alpha? Beta? Oh, I'm an A. Dueling in a decisive battle. Damage from those who have not been dubbed after heroes nullified.
By the rage that controls you.
Way. Avoid the... Oh! Get out of that. Some of these mechanics are quite familiar.
You shall be consumed by the cowardice that binds you. You shall be twisted by the envy that drives you.
Oh, here we go. Where is my tank? I don't know. I'm just gonna help one group. Okay.
Cowardice dismembers.
Oh my! This is... Okay, this is freaking crazy. Where?
You shall be smothered by the arrogance that consumes you.
Oh, I got one of the symbols on me and I didn't notice. God, that's busy.
You shall be
defeated by the apathy that plagues you.
Oh man, this is a reminiscent of Omega when he did the male-female forms. Oh boy. I missed the first strike, but oh, come on! I could have sworn I was out of this. Whatever.
Cowardice dismembers. You shall be consumed by the cowardice that binds you. Arrogance defiles.
Man, I have so little idea of what's going on here. Wrong button. Man, I'm whatever. Rotation doesn't matter at this point. This should be safe.
Cowardice dismembers.
I feel like there's a little bit of a lag happening because I'm noticing when I hit my abilities, things start proccing right away.
Apathy strikes.
I also did get disconnected earlier from a dungeon run. There might be something going on with the instance servers. Jeez. What a
well fought.
crazy fight.
Wuklamad chose her companions well.
Our next destination. No doubt a warm reception awaits us. Let's go and have a look.
He says as it turns to ice and snow. Hello.
Why only you?
Oh my. Just crazy Final Fantasy XI-esque aesthetic. Ah, Joseph. Welcome back. A DDoS, huh? Oh, that would explain it. It does feel like there is some lag I'm not used to happening. Whether or not that's why I'm getting hit by certain things is up for interpretation, but you really are a Final Fantasy XI looking villain, aren't you? Shadow
I
Lord.
cannot die! Not until I have eradicated you and your kind from this
Allow
world!
me to show you the depths of my hatred.
And your folly!
All right. We're just going into it. Oh, hi. Hi there. I'm just gonna... Okay, cool. I will just die. I'll just die. That's fine.
The land trembles before my might!
Okay. Oh, wait. Not only is he attacking to the 4 cardinals, they are cascading.
Crush your bones!
Oh, and then he goes the other way? Is that what's happening here? Yep. Whoa, this pattern. What?
There will be naught left of man but smoke
Of course.
and ash.
Central platforms. Inside this time? Oh, I think I see it. I think I understand why. I'd have to see the other attack again to know for sure.
Let the fires ride and rage! Kneel before me! Your demise shall portend the extinction of Altana's vile progeny!
Okay, yeah, that's inward. Ah, I see. A very small safe spot. One was inward, one was... Okay, yeah, I saw the spikes facing inward as opposed to facing outward. That would explain why it did what it did. Okay.
This insult, I will scour it away with your blood. Give up your painful strivings. Give in to the darkness of oblivion.
Whoa, okay, what?
Your funeral dirge has begun. Its mournful notes sing of your demise.
It's armor. He's equipping armor.
Wretched filth, return to the feculent
Paris.
soil that birthed you.
Okay, that was neat that it equipped the armor on him over while we're fighting him. And it didn't need a transition either. Up. Back here first. And on to the other side. Oh, 3. Okay. Didn't quite catch that.
As the spate of my rage quenches the candle of your trivial
Why are there-
existence.
No! More than one of him, not cool. Okay. Here, then behind him. And then to the left. We're just back again. I think it was this way. Oh, no. Oh no, he's doing it. Just follow everybody else. They had time to look at it. Oh no. No, I saw it. I saw the dark orb, and I couldn't move fast enough.
Justice withstand the brunt of the deepest rank
Jeez.
and wrath.
I'm here! I'm here! Okay, and then I think I need to move, but I can't move. Yeah. I've been bound.
Crush you like the insects you are!
Let me help here since I'm here.
I will not.
Okay, going through this
I
again.
will keep coming back until the fires of wrath consume me.
Wait. Oh no, it's in a pattern. Oh no 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 no! Now that way. Yep. Yep. And now to the right. I can't get back in time. Oh my god! You miss one, you miss them all. Man, the telegraphs are so visually noisy as well. Oh my goodness. I am not the only one that has messed this up. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, stay in the circle. Stay in the circle. Oh, there it is. Ooh.
The land trembles before my might.
Okay, so he's going to do that way first, and then this way. Okay, go. Cascades. Oh, nope, nope. I wasn't expecting that cascade, though. Oh my goodness. He's still throwing new mechanics into the mix this late into the fight. What in the hell? Ugh. Okay. If I would have realized that was a cascade, I might have
Kneel
played
before
that
me.
differently. I did
Your
not.
demise shall portend the extinction of Altana's vile progeny.
Oh man, a bunch of people dying. That's crazy. 10%. Okay, the healers and the tank are still up. That's a good sign. Let's see. Alliance B still has its healers and tank. C, one of its healers is barely hanging on by a thread, but he's there. Oh man. Okay, so at this point, right, should just be repeated mechanics. I was not expecting a new mechanic. Wow. And then a third? Yep. God, you really... And he's fast with it. You have got to watch him. Thankfully, the first two appear to be opposites of each other each time. So it's like, you do the first one, then you know where the second one is immediately. Okay, so that's behind me. And then this way. Didn't see where the other one was going. Okay, alright. This way, going to the back of him. This way, right? Then where's the third one? Okay, he didn't have a third one. Wait, he's got 2 dark orbs. Oh, that means he's gonna do that. No! No! Damn it. Not cool. But! Rest of the team got it. Yeah, I didn't get to, like, really memorize that, but I think I got it. I think I understand how that works now. Again, I'm seeing most of the mechanics, I just didn't have time to react to them. So that's cool. I should be able to get this after a couple of tries. That was busy. Oh my god, it's the login music! Oh! Okay, now that takes me back. Oh my goodness. I want to give it to a healer. I don't know. I'll pick one. Nano Lord. Need. Definitely didn't get it. Need on the cards, of course. What's this? Oh. Oh, these are new thing for orchestration rolls. Oh, okay. There is Dragoon gear. Let's grab it. Yes! Cool. Pass on the others. And there's the Archipelago, or whatever. The Final Fantasy standard theme. Oh my god. I recognize this immediately because it is like the thing you hear the most. Because, you know, logging in, character creation, all of that. Oh my goodness. It's alright. It's not my Dragoon gear. I even went to the extra mile to color my Dragoon gear, darn it. This whole aesthetic, though, I don't think I've ever been here, but like the sigil, the aesthetic, all of it, it's familiar. Like in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I recognize the style. Oh man. Well, I didn't do so hot on that last fight, but I got something out of it, and I'm happy. Let's go ahead and it's gonna clash a little bit. I should probably color it. If I can. I don't know if you can color this gear. Yeah, look at that. It clashes so terribly, but it's alright. So, still not sure what's going on story-wise for 11. I mean, I guess that's what's going to get answered here soon, hopefully. Or for 14. I don't know. It might take all 3 chapters before we know exactly what's going on. When it came to Endwalker's raids, that's kind of what it took. Oh! Just took us to Juno. Juno proper. Man, I love seeing you here, buddy. Are you alright? Really would love to see you again in the MSQ, man. You're my bro now.
She's merely sleeping. It remains to be seen if she'll give us a fight when she wakes.
Huh?
Ah, she stirs.
She's gonna punch you so hard. A two-headed lizard trying to take a bite out of me, huh? It's nice to see her outside of the giant-ass funky boxing gloves.
A scrawny thing like you would barely make a snack. Besides, we don't eat people. Though we might consider it, brother.
For this one.
Sorry, I'm a little on edge. If you've no quarrel with us, we've none with you. We only wish to talk.
Can they really be trusted? I should know better than to judge people based on their appearance.
It's fine. We're an intimidating specimen.
He's very aware.
I'm Prish, by the way.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Juno. Gods, what's happened to this place? Yeah, that's a good question. I have got to go through this area and see what's going on. Auction house. Any questions? In the past, great wealth? Oh man, I remember the 11 auction houses. They were weird. Compared to what they are now, like now you can see the prices of goods. It used to be on an auction house. It was actually kind of like an auction. You would put a good up for a price. The game would show you what the last few items sold for. But that didn't guarantee that that was the current price. And the person, if I remember right, the person who put their item up for the least was the person who got the sale first. It wasn't in a queue, right? It wasn't in order. I'm pretty sure that if you charged the least amount for an item, then you got the money. So the thing was, some people would try and abuse the system, and they'd put an item up for like a single gil, knowing that they would get their items sold first. Of course, that could sometimes backfire, because then a person buying the good, could do the same and try and get it. I just realized, and I have to apologize here, I noticed I see some drop frames now on OBS. And I just noticed that YouTube is not responding. What's this? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Oh. Is there something wrong with my connection, or is... So I thought it was Final Fantasy. Maybe it's my connection having an issue. Huh. It dropped. It definitely dropped. I saw the kbps drop like a stone here for a second. But it seems to have recovered. Okay, yeah, it's recovering. The error message is gone. But anyway, oh man, yeah, auction houses in 11 were interesting that way. Because you could put your item up for the price that other people were selling for, or that other people were buying for, but it wouldn't guarantee that you'd be the first that you would sell. Like selling under their price. So that's kind of how undercutting worked in that game, right? You could, if you undercut, you might sell first. But if you undercut too much and someone guesses that you're undercutting, then you'll lose out on the money. But it was definitely an interesting system. I definitely prefer this, like the WoW style of market board. Hume. Oh, yep, they even call them Humes. Like at 11. What's up, dude? City is not all what it should be. But I wouldn't give her a drink right about now. God, it's the fountains. I would run around in these things for hours at a time, looking for party. Like, it took time to get parties sometimes. Like, it was an experience, man. You had to shout constantly for stuff. Party looking... Oh my god! Party looking Dark Samurai Dragoon. That's it. That was the Juno experience right there. You sat in Juno because it was the central hub. It was where everybody went. And you shouted, looking for party. And you would say what classes you had available, because people would pick and choose based on what they already had. Oh my god. So yeah, this guy was a Dark Knight, a Dragoon, and a Samurai. That's cool. Ooh, a token exchange. What do you exchange? Sheet music. Oh. So this is how we get the music. Did I get one by the chance? Oh, I got a sheet music. Ooh, I got a coin. But it doesn't look like I got any of the orchestrations. Orchestrions, I mean. If you find any worn music scrolls, give them here. Gabi promised to make it worth your while. Oh my goodness, the memories are flooding back. Despite not having played it long, despite not having gotten super far, this is nostalgic. Cthulhu, Divining, 5-card, others. I feel like that's a reference to something I'm not getting. Because so far, each of these shades has been a reference to the player experience. Like, seriously, the guy looking for party! Looking the fool. Oh, I bet that's a quest or something. I like how they take out the for-party part. And then here's the stairwell. Because Juno had multiple floors, each one an airship, each one a hub for a different airship location. Hey, didn't I see you in Boyota Tree? Get anything good from Aquarius? Oh my goodness, this gear is so... Oh, yeah. So yeah, Aquarius, a notorious monster in that zone. That's cute. Oh my goodness, they really got the nostalgia right for this. Like, even barely knowing it, you feel it. And this would be the sight you'd see in the center every time. Oh man, I am... One day I might have to go back. We'll see. Oh my god. And the install, like, people think getting to 14 is hard. And don't get me wrong, it is. Thankfully, I don't have to go through that experience ever again. Logging into 11 was worse, because you had this third-party program called Play Online, because back then they were trying to put Triple Triad on there as a separate application. You were supposed to access, it was going to be like, it's kind of like Steam. It was going to be their hub for playing games. But you had to go into Play Online, you had to use Play Online to download the game, and pay for the subscriptions. And much like 14, you had your Square Enix account, but you also had your Mog Station account right now. Then you had your Play Online account, and you had your 11 account. And they were different. Of course they were.
There is much of this we don't understand, but what we do understand is the battle is won. For now at least. What would have otherwise been a struggle proved a decisive victory against the Dawn Servant Shade and the rest of those fiends. That is to say, thank you for your help, Attic.
Hey, man. I think we're cool now.
Hopefully this girl can give us some answers.
It all began with a stone. What were your names again?
Malik and Bakul Jaja, right? You look like a Hume. More importantly, you look like the adventuring type. If you're done with this small talk, would you mind explaining why you attacked us? What in the world are you talking about? Don't play the fool with us.
Oh, sorry.
Don't play the fool with us. You were spouting nonsense about us being Taurus and nearly killed a man on your rampage.
Well, I do recall fighting Taurus not long ago to protect Umia.
Ulmia? A friend of hers, you say? That's all well and good, but she was addressing Grul Jaja's shade with that name. The incantations needed to summon it are said to be based on a much older magic, one capable of clouding people's minds. If our enemy is skilled enough to summon Gulul Jaja, it stands to reason such tricks are not beyond him.
Meaning, young priest here was likely tricked into believing the shade was this Unmia person.
So it was an illusion then. It's starting to come back to me. There was someone who warned me that a dear friend needed my protection. He was blue, like your left head, and he gave me these bizarre weapons. Blue like me? I usually fight with my fists, but didn't think twice to accept what they gave me. Suppose their magic's to blame. In any case, I hope the real Ulmia hasn't been dragged into all this. Can you tell us anything about the one you thought was your Ulmia? Were they maybe hiding, perhaps? Would that I could, but when I got here, I was all by my lonesome. Here being where exactly? Juno. At least I think this is Juno. There was never anything like that here before. It's mostly empty, but there are a few people lingering about, if you know where to look. Maybe they can tell us something. Go with Prish. See what you can learn of this place and the whereabouts of the Shade. We will remain here and keep watch on this rift.
Interesting, interesting, interesting.
Right then, let's have a look around. Oh, and we should probably stop by the Tinshodo as well. It's in the back of Neptune's Spire, across the way from the fountain. Oh, the Tinshodo! I believe that was like the... Was it a secret shop, or was it like a... Secret may not be right. I mean, it might have been like a place you could buy ninja tools and the like. But I remember that name.
Oh good, I was hoping to run into you too. I don't wish to be overly forward, but why were you speaking with that Mamulja earlier? More importantly, what was it doing here? It would never dare venture beyond the shores of Aradija, unless... My god, says Gulul Jaja laid siege to Atugan? Is Juno next to fall?
Gulul Jaja was a character in 11. That's what ties them together. It's the Siege of Atugan. I remember, like, there was, like, when Atugan came out, that's when Puppet Master came out, every now and then there would be, like, sieges on the main gate. Like, it was a player hub, it was a main city, but there was still every now and then sieges that you could participate in. It was kind of a neat idea. I don't know anything about sieges or invasions, but that Mulja over there is a friend of mine. There ain't nothing for you to worry about. Poor man's probably more confused than we are about all this.
Tell me about the auction house, please.
Adventurers gather from all corners of the world to buy and sell their spoils here. The taxes are a pain, but it's worth it for the wide selection. Just between you and me, though, I've heard you can cut a good deal with merchants peddling their wares just outside of town. But why is it closed? The auction house never closes. Maybe they're waiting for things to return back to normal around here. Whenever they reopen, I suggest you stop by. Who knows, you may get lucky and find something way below market price.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You might get something way below price. Now, what she's talking about is the vendors outside town. So, what players could do is you could open up a bazaar. You could literally sell... It's basically what we use with our... retainers for now. You would basically open a bazaar, you'd put items in your inventory up for sale, and people could basically click on you and see what you had for sale. Now, in this case, unlike the auction house, they could see what you also wanted to sell it for. So it was their choice to buy it for that price. There was no bartering in that system. But the bazaar was only available while you had it up. And so to really make use of it, you would have to stay connected to the game and like just run it, like run 11 in the background, and because your character would disappear if you logged out, right? It's like, so you had to stay connected and you had to just AFK outside of a city, and that's what people do. They do it outside of the city most of the time. You're new to Juno, aren't you? I can tell by the way you were taking the sights. The city was built upon Heaven's Bridge, connecting the two great continents of Quan and Vana'diel. You'll find there's an upper and lower level, a port, and the administrative plaza of Rulu Gardens. At least, you would have before. All ways in and out of Lower Juno appear to be blocked or cut off. The situation here is worse than I thought. Oh, there's a shop over here. Okay. Well, I thought I knew all the humans who traveled through here of late. Where are you from, stranger? Credania. Can't say I've heard of it. Most folk pass through hail from Sandoria, Bastok, or Windurst. That's it! The 3 city-states. Windurst was kind of like the foresty area where the Taru came from, I believe. And let me see. Bastok was a place of stone, I believe. Sandoria was like the human and Elysian area. It was like very much medieval castle kind of stuff. Considering the present state of Juno, though, seems strange. Is becoming a common occurrence. I'd be lying if I said I'd heard of your homeland either. That's not important right now. Times like this, we need to know who can be trusted. What? Why is this blocked off? There's supposed to be stairs leading up to the residential area. I swear, things get stranger here by the minute. Oh yeah, you had your own little Mog house. Like, it wasn't housing like we know it now. It was kind of the precursor to it. But yeah, you could go into your little Mog house. That's where you could, like, change equipment and whatnot. It's cool. Neptune Spire. Applicants invite our branch. Please, we'll issue membership. Yeah, this reminds me of a little Mog house. Oh, man. I love how it's just there. Oh, this is all crazy, man. Press against the wall, but it refuses to budge. Won't open. I guess we won't be meeting Aldo. He's the head of the Tinshoda. When the world's in danger, he's always there to lend me a hand. Reminds me of our friends, the Scions. Scions, eh? He sounds like a competent lot. Unfortunately, we're on our own here. Whatever's happening here, these people are just as bewildered as we are. We should go back, find Bakul Jaja, see if he's noticed anything. Oh man, I have been kind of gushing about this. I've had a lot more to say than I thought about this whole thing. I figured I would just be bewildered by most of it, but man, it's a lot is kind of coming back. Returned at last. With answers, I hope? Nope, more questions. So we're truly in this Juno, as she says. But I've traveled all over Tulor. I never heard of a Juno, or Sandoria, or any of these other places.
What in Altana's name is Tural? I thought all you Mamulja are from God, I'm trying to pronounce that. Aragia. Prish, you're all right. And she has you to thank, I'm sure. Thanks for caring, I guess. And who are you exactly? Thought he was a friend of yours. He's the one that asked me to go and look for you. I appreciate the concern. I've never seen him before in my life. How can you say such a thing? I mean, you do look like the sort I might know. But I'm drawing a blank. What was the name, mister? My name is... You must be the only one they found wounded. You must be the one they found wounded in the Sky Deep Cenote. Where? We have to call you something. How about... Al-Jal? Al-Chal? Is that how you say that? Al-Shal? That X is in an interesting place. Vagabond in the Mamulja tongue. Though it may be closer to adventurer in Malaxiorisian. Nicely chosen, brother. That does have a rather nice ring to it. Al-Shal it is. So, where are we exactly? Juno, or at least a coast approximation. Surely you remember this place, don't you? It does feel familiar. What's so special about this place, anyway? And where did that damn shade get off to? Bah! None of this makes any sense! My, what a vexing predicament. Wait, what? Hey, that's the one that put me under a spell, I'm sure of it. How is he? No! So, the Boniwa sycophant yet lives. What are you doing here? That was what, Sorelja? Sorelja? Yeah, frickin' Sorelja. Wow. He lives! What an interesting place to find out he lives! Oh gods, if he lives, then this might have things to do with the gate. So this might just be a reflection. Or something. Like that? Oh, jeez. As you found me in a generous mood, I thought I might enlighten you as to the nature of this place. That is why you've come, isn't it? The young lady is correct. This is the Grand Duchy of Juno. So we really are in Juno. And yet something about it feels so off. I never said this was the real one. It's an imitation. A rather convincing one, I might add. Which I created based on visions of another world. You built this? That I did. While you and yours were holding the Dawn Servant's coronation, Zoralja and I ventured into the gate of the Golden City. Everything was proceeding as planned. The gate's key was in our possession, the power to reshape the world within our grasp. Or so I thought. In the eyes of the resilient sun, I was but a useless tool to be cast aside. By all rights, I should have died when he struck me down, but once the chamber was empty, the gate still open, I saw my chance. What I found when I dragged myself across the threshold was an emptiness, a space beyond time. It was there in this dark expanse I beheld another world. That world was called Vana'diel.
Wow, so many things there that I remember. So many I don't even know. Oh my goodness. I recognize some of those early pictures. So it is. So that means this is confirmed as another reflection. Or at least a facsimile of another reflection. What a load of rubbish. As if anyone would believe that everything and everyone here is a little more than one of your toys. Electrope. He turned to stone.
As I said, everything you see here is of my creation.
Or just a regular stone? Okay, I thought maybe it was electro, but alright.
Much like we fashioned a Phantom of Gulur Jaja for the feet of the Brotherhood, I was able to use our ceremonial tools to breathe life into my visions of Vana'diel. Under normal circumstances, my conjurings only have strength enough for a brief clash. With that stone, however, my magics are capable of so much more.
Oh, maybe it is electro.
Isn't that what Zor Al-Ja used to build his army? Electro, he called it.
Yep. Okay.
Electrope, you say? If you know its name, then I trust you also know these stones are possessed of immense power. Power enough for my creations to persist as long as I please.
So he saw another world, and he's recreating it, but for what purpose? And are these people from that world, actually, or are they just recreations, I wonder?
Fortunate, then, that world between worlds was filled with structures made from electrope, more than I could ever even hope for. Wait, if everything we see here, everything we believed was from Vana'diel, is of your making, then am I...
Gods, that would mean I am as well.
You? Yes, well, a trivial thread in the tapestry of my grand design. And what a wondrous weave it will be, made possible by the endless possibilities gleaned in that walk of echoes. The memories buried there, those remnants of echoes will shape my dreams into reality. I once believed that dream lay in the resilient sun, but that bastard is dead to me. By my hand, Tural will have the greatest ruler the world has ever known. I've made an admirable start, but my work is far from finished. Very soon I will draw upon the echoes once more to summon the greatest beings of Vana'diel, and their strength will be made one with this magnificent shade. The reason and resolve which built the nation of Tuliolal matched with the uncompromising tyranny that commanded the Mamurjar of that world.
I won't let you sully the memories of Vana'diel. If you won't listen to reason, then maybe you should listen to my fists. I kind of like that one with this guy. Maybe you'll listen to my fists.
That's the spirit. My preparations will take time, of course, but when I am ready, you can be certain I will call upon you to bear witness to my greatness. Serelja, wait!
Alright, this is taking an interesting turn that I wasn't expecting. It is implying that this is definitely another reflection, but this is not actually the reflection. It is a memory of it. Thus the name echoes.
Damn it all. Just when I thought things couldn't become more complicated, making sense of Alexandria was trouble enough. And now we have this Vana'diel to deal with as well. I can only imagine how Prishan Alchal must be feeling. What do you do when your very existence is called into question?
That world was called Vana'diel. Vatchel regards Prish with a pained look in his eyes. Try as I might, I could recall nothing of my past to refute Serelja's claims. Prish, on the other hand, seems to know everything of her past and who she is. But to be told that the memories of your life are not your own, I can only imagine how she must feel. Now is not the time to be disheartened. At least not here, anyway. I wouldn't trust anything made by Serelja to be safe for long. Or to remain functional. Let's return to Mamuk, while we still can. My mother will want to know what we have seen here. Well, this has certainly taken a turn, has it not?
There you are. I thought you should be the one to explain what happened out there in Yaktel. Not simply from another territory, but another world entirely. That explains much of the internal confusion between us. Our initial confusion between us. My apologies for any trouble I may have caused, and thank you for taking me in. Different worlds, and yet we seem to have so much in common. Cannot help but wonder what it is that links the two together. What indeed? You mistook us for the Mamulja of your Vana'diel when we first met. May I ask what they are like?
Nothing at all like you and yours, even if they do bear a striking resemblance. There was a time when all the peoples of Vana'diel, the Mamulja included, knew peace. But a tyrant possessed of a terrible power claimed rulership over the Mamulja and turned them against us. Before we realized it, we were at war. A tale similar to ours, in a way. The rare few of us born with two heads grow to be immensely powerful. That power was used to justify our preeminence over all others.
But that is not who we are anymore. We can be better than our forebears. We will be better. All of our hard work will be for nothing if Serioja succeeds in seizing the throne. Well, you'll not want for aid in stopping him, I promise you that. Oh, keen to lend a hand, are you? I don't need to know who I am, or know the right thing to do. My blade is yours. On my honor as an adventurer of Vana'diel, we'll put an end to Serelja's schemes. If he were here, I'm sure he had done the same. Right then. We can worry about whether or not I'm real another day. I'm not going to stand around and let this Serelja piss all over the memories of my home. So you can count me in too. Don't think you can forget about us. This all started in XIV, and we have a duty to keep our forest safe. Serelja has left us without a trail to follow, but that is only a matter of time, before he reveals himself to challenge Malik once more. If you're to be ready, I think it prudent the two of you learn more of our world. An excellent idea, brother. We should start with Tuliolal, and see to our own preparations while we're there. If you would meet us at the dirigible landing... Oh, this is the Mystic. If you would meet us at the dirigible landing, we will see Prishan al-Shal to Tuliolal. Well, I did not expect this to be so Serelja-centric for something harkening back to 11. Those balloon-powered airships are really something. I didn't expect the flight to be so smooth. So this is Tuliolal. Before I forget, I couldn't help but notice how much you seem to know about me. Is there anything else you remember? I'm afraid I don't. And as you don't recognize me either, perhaps we weren't acquaintances after all. What I know of you is likely overheard in a tavern somewhere, patrons sharing stories of your famed exploits. I see. Well, I'll leave it at that then. Now, where to begin? Brother, would it not be wise to first appraise the Landsguard of what's happened? Or would you prefer another stern lecture from the Vow of Reason? Ugh. I'd sooner rip off our tail. Fine. Could you keep them occupied while we see to the Landsguard? Maybe take them to eat or something? Ah, I know. Take them down Antilles to sample the tacos. Here. For that first meal of yours we spoiled.
Vengeance for tacos! He did owe us.
And just so we're clear, we're not expecting to earn your forgiveness. No amount of good deeds will ever undo our past. There's always time to build a better future. When you get there, tell her we sent you. She'll see that they're taken care of. Vengeance for tacos! Aunt Teal's tacos, eh? Let me guess. They serve tacos? Oh, I can hardly wait. I ate tacos all the time back home. Then I suppose it wouldn't hurt to take a more scenic route. Maybe something along the way will help jog Alto's memory. Okay, we're doing this now. My goodness. What in Altana's name is that? Do people actually ride those things? Chocobos are the only beasts I've ever used for riding in Vana'diel. If they have any, I'd sure like to see them. Yep, chocobos were the only mounts back then. Those creatures remind me of the chocobos in Vana'diel. Say we adventurers found them indispensable would be no exaggeration. From shore to shore, they were our faithful companions wheresoever the roads might lead us. Tis no lie. Of course, everything is so far away from Aetherites. I need some water. My throat's a little scratchy from the deeper voices. Oh, we're here. My home is surrounded by the ocean too, you know. It has the most beautiful views on a clear day. Not without the occasional monster, though. It's nice being able to walk around like this without your guard up all the time. I cannot say why, but I've remembered something looking out in the sand dunes. There was a man out in the docks who claimed he could teach me new battle arts, but he would only agree on the condition that I retrieved for him a damselfly worm, an apron, and a magic skull. I don't suppose you've met anyone on your travels who's made such a queer request. Oh my goodness. Which quest is that? Is that the sub-job quest? That was an interesting thing in 11. So you started as a job. So Final Fantasy XIV's system of having jobs, back when the classes were a thing. Like, you had to be a level, you had to like have partial level in Lancer. Like, if you wanted to unlock Dragoon, you had to be a Lancer, and you had to unlock, like, a certain level in Black Mage, I think it was, to get like, one of the buffs. Gods, I can't remember it all now. It used to be a requirement that to get the jobs in 14, you had to level 2 of the classes to a specific point, and then you could get the job stone. In Final Fantasy XI, they used a sub-job system, where you could prioritize one job, but you could secondary another job. That other job was always half the level of your primary position. And you would have the skills and abilities of that sub-job. So you could be a ninja with jump if you went Ninja Dragoon. Typically, you would see things like maybe Paladin White Mage, so that like you could have a paladin with actual healing. Depending upon how you want it to be, like as Dragoon, I believe my primary secondary class was Samurai, because at the time Samurai got enhanced critical strikes, I believe. And so it basically just was one of the better sub jobs to level to increase your damage as a Dragoon. A worm, an apron, and a magic skull. I am fairly certain that's the sub job quest.
taking a look at it now. Sub-jobs. You had to go to Volcrum Dunes, you had to find these items, and you had to turn them in. And Volcrum Dunes was one of the areas where you leveled up, of course. You must be level 18 and at least one job. Complete one of the following quests. Elder Memories, The Old Lady, or players who completed Rhapsodies of Vana'diel. Yep, it was Elder Memories. You had to deliver a damselfly worm, a magic skull, and a crab apron. I can't believe I remembered that. Oh my gosh. Of course they made reference to that here. So these are the markets to Yellow. There are so many stands, I wouldn't know where to begin. It's enough to make my head spin. Some fruit which you're hit the spot right about now. No, Prish, remember, you're about to eat tacos. I happened to spy a few goblins on the way to the market. I remember them living in the major cities of Vana'diel as well. Of course, there was no shortage of the unscrupulous sort living in the wilds as well. They would gather in droves and give chase to adventurers, forcing anyone and everyone to retreat back to the safety of town. Train to zone right there. Can I dye this? I can. Let's see. Where is the Dragoon Blue getting added on this? Alright, let's do this. Let's go to dye 1, turn it red. Dye 2, let's turn it something... Oh, it's literally the... Oh wow, it's literally the details that are being added. So you could two-tone it. So like if I did this, it would match with the metallic blue here and the lighter blue in the details. It kind of would match. I could make it match the rest of my outfit. This is the place, right? I can smell the savory meats already. And you must be Aunt Till. Bakul Jaja recommended we sample your tacos. So, we'll have 3 of your finest, please. Bakul Jaja sent you, did he? Take a seat, and I'll be right over with a tray of our world-famous fare. Hey! I can't believe he's keeping that shield and sword. Tacos, at long last. Oh, how I've waited for this moment. Take a bite. I've thought nothing could match the rich flavor of our tacos back home, but spicy seasoning of this meat is something else. God, that's making me want tacos right now. When did I eat? I've been streaming for a couple hours. It's at least been since then. This meal's up a cool Jaja, so don't hold back. The man owes us. Precious taking the lead. But we won't be outdone, surely. They say take it slow and take a bite. I say screw that, scarf the damn things down. Oh, I couldn't eat another bite. Thanks for treating us. You know, I have the materials to make some tacos. I wasn't planning on doing it. I might have to now. It was almost like a taste of home. Vana'diel. That name sounds familiar. Seeing as we still have a little extra time to ourselves, care to hear more about Vana'diel? Sure. Make me nostalgic. "20 years ago, the land was gripped by a terrible conflict. The Crystal War, they called it. And it wasn't long before my home, Savanzia, was drawn into the struggle. During their assault on the peninsula, the Beastmen launched a weapon so powerful it sundered the land connecting us to the mainland. Those who survived fled to the Tasmanian strafehold. Wasn't much, but we were able to piece together a modest living down in those caves. Sorry, I'm spoiling the mood, aren't I? You're an adventurer too, aren't you? Have you any tales of daring you can share with us?"
Oh, let me tell you, the things I've killed.
Traveling to other worlds and saving this one from the very embodiment of despair. Wait, really? You're not just an adventurer, you're a goddamn living legend! That I am. But you can call me Malik. A hero. And a living legend. Sorry for the wait. There was much to apprise the Landsguard of, as you well know. The Trailja was behind the stolen relics, and the sightings of Gulur Jaja was understandably difficult for them to hear. And yet there are others enticed by the rumors of a strange portal in the woods. I've heard some foolhardy treasure seekers have gone off looking for it. Dangerous thought, knowing Sorelja could show up at any time with more of those echoes. Which is why I'm going back to Juno to make sure our people stay out of there. If you're going, then so are we. It beats sitting around waiting. Where does this end? Does it end with us going back? Or is this it? It ends here? God, those tacos were bloody brilliant. There's nothing better than good food and good company to pass the time. No, there's still more. It's just called Juno. Grand Duchy of Juno Orchestration. Or Orchestrion. This is more than likely the last, then, I'm assuming. Would that we have time to show you more of Turialal, but we can't afford to have anyone wandering about in Juno. Then let us make haste to Yaktel. I'm guessing I'm ending in... Yeah, it's going to end there, right? And it's going to be like, here's where you're... They're basically going to be like, yes, come here when the next part of the mission is available. It's going to be my guess. Let's head off.
Get on your bikes and ride!
Literally the bike I was riding to the first time. Alright, not too much time has passed. I think what I might do after this is unlock and start work on the Alliance Tribal... They're not called tribes anymore, are they? What are they called? Well, they're not called like beast tribes, but like on the start on that, because I haven't started on that. I'm behind on that as well, and it takes about a month to max the reputations on those out if you're doing them every day. Hard to blame anyone for wanting to take a peek inside. I know I certainly would.
The sooner we clear this place out, the better.
I can only speak for myself, but the idea of running headlong through a mysterious rift to God's knows where in search of treasure seems absurd.
Tural has no shortage of legends like the city of Gorn to inspire would-be treasure seekers. No risk is too great if they believe their dreams can be realized. Efforts better spent on more honest living, I'd say.
Oh, sorry, Mystic.
Efforts better spent on a more honest living, I'd say. Walking the noble path like you, brother. In any case, whoever we find there, we have to get them out. Quickly.
Oh, I didn't go in here when I had the chance. Oh, a thief. Hello, Cordial Shade. Welcome, Chamber of Commerce. We assist job labor. Okay.
When I jumped through the rift, I was expecting a dungeon or maybe a labyrinth. Not whatever all this is. It's dangerous and I need to leave? Don't make me laugh. Not long ago, I heard someone crowing in the streets about some rare stone they found. Something like that could be worth a fortune. I'm not going anywhere if there's riches just lying around for the taking.
Oh boy.
Never seen a city like this in Tural before. Dangerous, you say? Perhaps I should hold off on surveying further then. What a shame. I happened upon a rather curious stone I hope to take with me, but it was stolen by some Totolan brute. Without knowing the value of the stone, I can't say it's worth giving chase. But he ran all south if you mean to go after him. I'll be leaving now. If it's truly as dangerous as you say, I hope you'll be leaving soon as well.
Excuse me, sir. You need to get your ass gone.
You came looking for some fancy trinkets too? Well, feast your eyes on this. We spoke with anyone who would listen. though a few were too stubborn to heed our warnings. A block of raw electrope? But how? I take it you're the one that found this. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave with that stone. It's too dangerous. You expect me to just hand it over? Bah! This isn't Tulialal. You have no authority here. I found it, and I'm keeping it. This is for your own good. Put the stone down and walk away, or else. Careful, brother. Lay a hand on him, and the vow of resolve will never let us hear the end of it. We're already in their debt as it is. Fine. You come here to make your fortune, yes? Then let me pay you for it. That would certainly save the trouble of finding a substitute buyer, or suitable buyer. But don't expect me to let it go for cheap.
Oh no, more people.
We couldn't help but overhear you're selling an artifact found in his ruins. Whatever this gentleman's willing to pay, I assure you I can pay more. Great. Just what we needed. What do you suppose we do now? Explaining the circumstances surrounding this place would likely take more time than we can afford. Ah, of course. Why not hold an auction for the stone? An auction? That certainly simplifies matters. It would save you the trouble of bargaining with all interested parties separately, and incentivizes them to pay you handsomely, lest they be outbid. Fine by me, but I'll only be accepting payment in gil. This money will be taking me overseas, where I can finally live the life I've always wanted.
Why are we doing this? Why is this a thing that we're doing in these quests? Oh my goodness. Following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending to... Oh my goodness. Here we go.
If I may have your opening bids? Can you handle the bidding? We don't have much experience with auctions, but we do have coin you can use. Around 1 million gil saved up from our work with the Landsguard. Hopefully that will be enough.
Okay, upon speaking with the Tontawa thief, the auction will begin. You may also speak with the other prospective buyers to receive hints regarding their potential bids. Oh geez. Okay, so we're doing this.
You've 1 million gil, all told, but I'm trusting you won't need to spend all of it.
Okay, so we're trying to avoid spending the full 1 million.
Damn, I wish I had money to join in. Seems like fun.
While it is imperative that we recover the Electrum, it wouldn't do to show your hand too early. Better to be conservative with your bids, staying just ahead of the competition. So what's your offer? Oh, okay, not yet. Alright, so let's see what he's saying. Foreign merchants relieved me of my stock a few moons past. It was a good thing they did. 1,500,000 gil. And I was forced to spend half of it in preparation for this expedition. Okay, so we had 1.5. So he's got about 750,000. Whoops, wrong place. No time to go for the back and forth of this bargaining nonsense. All I need is one bid to win that stone.
start with. So let's see what kind of choices it gives me. 1 million gil! Alright, he's only got like, he's got about 750, right? It's not likely he's going to want to part with it all. I don't know if we want to go to 500 right away. I mean, it's like a third of, it's like, what, like 2/3 of his budget? I want to be ahead, right? I still want to be ahead, so 100,000 doesn't seem like it's enough. I want to be conservative, but like, is that too low? That's half of what I got, and I really don't want to... Let's start on the... Let's start on the low end and see what happens, I think. Is that all? Then I'll start with 400,000 gil. Okay, yep, I should have done the 500. 400,000? I was hoping to keep at least half my savings. But if we have to bid more... Alright. So here, once again, we have kind of a choice. How much will you bid? Current highest bid is 400,000. So I could beat him by another 100,000. No, let's go mid. Let's keep it a little higher. We'll do 600. 600,000? How is anyone meant to compete with that? One out of the running? Good. Then I'll bid 700,000. Only one left now, but I don't think he'll give up without a fight. $710,000. Oh, this is true auction house bullshittery, right there. Let's do the middle again. We'll do 800. I think 750 was all he had, so 800 should take him out. $200,000 killed to spare. Not too bad, Malik. This looks to be all of it. The stone is yours. I did it! I did it! As fun as that looked, I'm sure I would have made a mess of things if that were me. I tend to get a little carried away under pressure. That was more expensive than I would have liked, but nothing a few hunt bills can't make up for. I hope. He too goes on hunt bills, eh? Well done, friend. Now let's have a look at that electrope. This presence, it feels familiar. The Shadow Lord. There's no mistaking that deep and bitter malice. This stone must have served as the heart of the Shadow Lord's echo. He was a being of pure hatred, responsible for bringing about the Crystal War. I was part of the company that would eventually bring his reign of terror to an end. You helped defeat the Shadow Lord. Meaning Ashal must have been there with him, but I don't remember ever hearing about that. In any case, I'll hold on to the electrope. We should hurry back and speak with the Landsguard. Excuse me, but were you speaking of the Shadow Lord just now? If there's more you wish to know, perhaps I can be of help. I've heard a great many tales of the fiend from the bards who frequented the taverns here in Juneau. I've been waiting over yonder. I've been waiting over yonder near the fountain for my companions to arrive. But you're welcome to speak with me until they do. So I'm guessing he'll be the exposition of what happened in 11. Most welcome offer. Though there is much to be said for a first-hand encounter with the echo in question. Perhaps we can revisit these tales another time, after we've made certain no treasure hunters can readily gain entry. Let's return to Turiolal and speak with the Landsguard. Manik, come and meet us at Bright Bloom Post. I thought he said he was by the fountain, did he not? Another player. Oh, there he is. Oh, there you are. If you have any burning questions about this place or anything else in Vana'diel, I should be happy to answer them. Tell me about yourself. Me? I am no adventurer of any particular renown, if that's what you were expecting. Just a man come from Bastok looking to see more of the world. Where I lack in fame, I make up for it with the strength of numbers. I have no shortage of friends willing to accompany me in pursuit of riches, should I reach out via Link Pearl. The armor I wear is proof of our accomplishments, salvaged from the depths of the Al-Zadal undersea ruins. Ah, the legend of Al-Zadal. Of course. Okay, so Al-Zadal was also an 11 thing. That said, I treasure my time with them more than any trinket or bauble we've unearthed on our travels together. You understand, surely. Fafnir. The great dragon that slumbers in the depths of the Border Tree, yes? I know of it, as does anyone who would dare venture into Zata. Stories of a great hero who did battle with a dragon, their harrowing encounter concluding with a strike in its heart with the fabled blade Vana'diel. If only they hadn't missed their mark. The blade is said to remain nest in the beast's bosom. Even to this day, to survive such a blow and live for all these years bespeaks strength I struggle to imagine. And yet, the tales of its might have not deterred the brave and foolhardy from venturing into the tree. Hopeful they can slay Fafnir and claim its spoils, few have reached the dragon's eyrie and lived to tell of it. Okay, tell me about the archangels. I've heard stories of the 5 warriors clad in black. If the fates are kind, I will never have the poor fortune to cross paths with them. They were not born, but forged from crystal, assuming the legends are true. The Dawn Goddess, Altena, wept 5 tears that gave birth to the 5 races: Hume, Elvan, Tarutaru, Mithra, and Galka. The archangels are said to be the embodiment of their sins. Apathy, arrogance, cowardice, envy, rage, the darkness that lurks within us all. No one is certain why they were created. The prevailing theory is they served as guardians of some ancient paradise. Hello, Prim. Hello. Good to see you. Minor detail during the raid. There's a secret riddle stuck in a stone in Fafnir's arena. Oh! So the sword... Okay. Neat. Neat. Tell me about the Shadow Lord. These are all fights I never got to experience, unfortunately. The great darkness of the Northlands. Hatred made manifest. There's not a soul in all of Vana'diel who doesn't know of the Shadow Lord. His sole desire was to bring about the extinction of Altana's children, and so he rallied together the Beastmen, inciting what came to be known as the Crystal War. The Beastmen's assault was merciless. It was not long before Bastok, Sandoria, and Windhurst were brought to their knees. It was only after Archduke Kamlanau convinced them to join forces with the Grand Duchy of Juno. They gained the momentum needed to push back. United as the Alliance of Altana, they would eventually drive the Beastmen back from their lands, but soon found themselves going on the offensive in Zarkabard. The Alliance proved victorious in the end, but not without a great many sacrifice. Peace had been restored to Vana'diel for a time at least. The Shadow Lord was somehow resurrected 20 years later, but thankfully he was slain before the Beastmen could be emboldened to take arms a second time. There is much speculation as to his origins. Most believe he was once a Galka, if you can believe it. He was betrayed by one of his companions, mortally wounded and left to die. A dear friend of his was also said to have been cut down in the altercation. He succumbed to his wounds, but his rage and despair would remain, giving life to the Shadow Lord. If what you say is true, and he has returned once more, perhaps the flames of his hatred can never truly be extinguished. And that just stays above his head. Okay. Yeah, so that was one of his rare drops, the sword. That makes sense. You're hoping as a tie-in they do a bundle subscription at a discount. That would be kind of nice, actually, offering a discount bundle subscription. It's really solo-friendly for the story stuff nowadays. Final Fantasy XI servers probably can't handle that many players, though. It's true. It would be nice, because the days I remember, you couldn't solo shite. So as a Sandorian man, I could fight outside the Orc encampment. I could get inside the Orc encampment just a little bit. And I could go to the next zone. But the next zone was about as far as I could go solo. Beyond that, like by the time you get to that point, then you need to party up with people. But leveling in the next zone was not efficient. The best experience was always, of course, Valcom Dunes. Yep, 16 Drag Warrior. I eventually, I believe, was Dragoon Samurai. I had to get those big crits and weapon skills in, you know. But yes, Drag Warrior, look for dunes. I don't know if you had caught this. I certainly did. Party-looking dark samurai dragoon. That gave me a good big grin right there. You know, I mistook it. I thought it was him looking for party, but it looks like he's a party looking for those three things. Possibly. I don't know. You can put that anyway since there's words missing. There's a lot of back and forth here, isn't there? We go to Tulialal, we come back here, we go back to Tulialal. Sheesh. I'm pretty sure this is like the final set of quests, though.
Once again, we're left with nothing but time on our hands until Sarelja shows himself. I suppose there's no shortage of work to be done if we ask the Landsguard.
You may be better served exploring Tural, familiarizing yourself with the land. It wouldn't do to find yourselves lost when you're needed most.
An honest to God's adventure! What a great idea! You're coming with me, Alshal? And don't you dare say you're not interested. Any self-respecting adventurer would jump at a chance like this. I'll not deny that the suggestion piques my interests.
We warn you now, though. The wilds of Tural are rife with danger. It is no place for the unprepared.
I welcome the challenge. I can hardly count the number of times Vana'diel's been visited by some world-ending calamity. But no matter how dire things may have seemed, we always found a way through, together. This will be no different, I'm sure of it. There's nothing we can't do so long as we have each other. A band of adventurers barely met, united in the face of great peril, just like old times.
Are adventurers always so sentimental? Is that so terrible a thing?
Ah! Here he is. The moment we learn anything about Sarelja's movements, I've asked him to contact you. And that's that. Meanwhile, in the echo of Tulia. Meanwhile, in Garlabald, the Legion of Doom formulates their new plan.
Soon we will slaughter them all. Is that not so, Sarelja? Soon, my Dawn servant. Very soon. Then there shall be none to stop you from taking your rightful place on the throne. How fortunate for me he lacks the wisdom of the true Dawn servant. But he will be made fit to rule. I must choose from the echoes carefully. The Shadow Lord showed promise, but Vana'diel is a land of rich history. I needn't settle for those who are but a blink of an eye in the annals of history. With the strength of the ancients, I will bring Tural, no, the whole world to its knees. There she blows! Cool. So
you played Bard, the dance of trying to keep multiple buffs up while jungling. Oh yeah, right. This was the era of MMOs where you didn't just pull like normal, like you didn't have a tank go out. You had archers or casters if you really needed to, because they had the range to target something without targeting everything around it. That was the freaking... That was the challenge. Because if you pulled, even in a leveling party, like, you might accidentally pull 2 monsters, and that would be it. Like, 2! Just 2 monsters! And it's like, yeah. Multiple buffs up, jungling, pulling, a little sub-healing and other stuff was smooth and mechanical, very flow state. That's cool. I remember playing a little bit of Red Mage at one point. Red Mage in that game, unfortunately for a time, was basically relegated to the regen battery. It's like, okay, we got a white mage and a black mage, I'm just here to give them mana. Like, the whole thing about being a mage in that game was interesting, because you would spend all your mana, or at least a good chunk of your mana, and then you'd have to sit and rest and wait for your MP to recharge. So you'd be, for some fights, you'd be sitting there doing nothing for a while, until the next magic burst, or the next, like, step where you can finally start casting some spells. Challenge overall is once you go Bard, you never go back to anything else. Alright, is this our Ohokale? Okay, yeah, this has got to be the tribal quest, right? An intrepid new enterprise. Maybe meeting with him wouldn't be so easy after all. Mablu said he'd be around here somewhere, though. Back to your thoughts. Oh! Matic, the adventurer? The mighty warrior who traveled the length and breadth of Tural, taking in its myriad sights, sounds, and smells, even those within the otherworldly dome? The savvy haggler who helped the third promise acquire a saddle worth 10 pel in the thousands column, despite starting with a mere 100. My inner abacus is clacking away. You're the missing piece I've been looking for. The missing piece for a brand new enterprise, that is. Sorry about that. I got a little carried away. I'm just happy to finally meet you. I'm Liplu, a merchant. Until recently, my business was bedclothes, all woven from the finest alpaca wool. My dear friend Mablu told me all about you. I hear you gave her the nudge she needed to embark upon her journey as a peddler. I can't begin to thank you enough. But I'll get straight to the point. I have a proposal for you today, Malik. How would you like to become a special advisor for a trailblazing tourism venture? I call it the Tural Travel Agency. Okay. Of course, you'll be compensated for your time. You'll also be the first in line for all kinds of treats and trinkets, not to mention a wealth of exciting experiences. You don't have to answer right away, but if any of this has roused your interest, please come and visit me in Okanu. We can go over the finer details there. I'll be waiting for you, along with the rest of my associates. Society quest, right, okay, that's what they're called now. As you see, Batman, we live in a society. was raining just a moment ago. Ah, there you are. Thank you for coming. Right. Here goes. Ohokale! Welcome to Kozamauka. Oh, this greeting. Look, I'm a lally-ho enthusiast. We're going to go right into it. Ohokale! Boom, boom, boom. You've mastered the Hana greeting, but I wouldn't expect anything less from someone so well-traveled. Allow me to introduce myself again. I'm Liplo, founder of the Turali Travel Agency. With me are my brother, Yubil, and my Hanu associates. We'll be happy to explain the ins and outs of your budding enterprise. If you were there for the Ascension ceremony, weren't you? Yep. I was there. We did a thing. Dawn Servant Uklamat spoke of growing to love her people all the more as she got to know them better. Of how she wanted us to live with joy in our hearts and smiles on our faces. Well, those words certainly left their mark. The capital's residents are eager to learn about their fellow Turali, who in turn yearn to foster understanding. You see it too, don't you? An unmistakable business opportunity. Well, that's precisely where the Turali Travel Agency comes in. We'll answer that burgeoning demand. Our goal was to help revitalize the community as it attempts to rebuild after the Great Storm. Promoting Kozamauka as a tourist destination will provide much-needed source of income for the region. And with it, all the benefits that follow. Of course, we wouldn't be having this conversation had we not consulted the Hanu beforehand. After much discussion, they kindly agreed to set aside a tract of land by Doc Poga for development. And would you believe it? The villagers are flocking to join our staff. As Lipu said, the people are eager to learn of their fellow Turali, and we Hanu are eager to share our culture with them as well. Much as when you helped us to revive Iana, we hope to welcome many outsiders into our home, that we may know one another better and enjoy each other's company. What better way to do that than to support this tourism invite? Or initiative. Yeah, initiative. That's initiative. Of course, tourism is an industry new to Tural. This is unfamiliar territory in many respects, and people understandably have their concerns. But who better to assuage those concerns than someone who roamed far and wide and met with countless Turali from all over the continent? The core of our business is providing accommodations and guided tours for the local area. As we speak, Wukabu is putting his shipwright skills to use, heading up construction for our base of operations by Doc Poga. From sourcing foodstuffs to souvenirs and everything in between, we're working hand in glove with the good people of Okanu to make sure this venture benefits everyone involved. Still, there are a few things I'm worried about. The guided tours, for example. Visitors were joining here after making a reservation at our office in Tuliolal, and we have to guarantee their safety every step of the way. After all, we can't expect our customers to handle themselves like you can. And that leads us neatly back to my proposition. So how about it? Can we count on your help as a special advisor while the travel agency finds its feet? One's proposition, who am I to refuse? Consider yourselves advised. Specially. This is the combat quests, if I'm not mistaken. which would make sense for what they're going through. So basically, they're like, oh yeah, we need people to help them because they can't take care of themselves. I knew we could count on you. Wonderful. Although I am loath to put you to work straight away, I would seek your assistance. We guides have each devised a plan for our respective tours based on our knowledge of our homeland, but we benefit greatly from the input of a worldly traveler like yourself. Honest opinions only. Lilipu, perhaps you could accompany Malik and appraise the tours as well. I'll stay behind and oversee construction with whoever. A fine idea. Guides, please wait in your respective tour locations. I will take Malik to each of you in turn. When you're ready, just say the word. I'm keen as the Hanu are to hear your thoughts. All set? Now then, our 3 guides have planned 3 unique tours, so we will speak with them one at a time before proceeding to the next. We'll start by paying a visit to the Gunuhanu in the Fields of Gold, whom I told wishes to showcase local industry with a focus on the village and reed fields. Let's go. Okay. I'm glad you're here. I almost couldn't bear the wait. Right, let me explain thy concept for the tour. First and foremost, I see this as a chance for our customers to understand we Hanu. And where better to learn that than right here among our reed fields. After all, reeds are at the very heart of our culture. I just cast your gaze across these lush fields and you'll see a sense of what defines us. But that's enough about my thoughts. What do you think? I should like to believe this is a place those not of the Hanu can appreciate, but let's see. I think visitors will take a keen interest in the reed fields. Perhaps reed should be the sole focus. We'll be out of harm's way. I think that's great, but yeah, maybe it shouldn't be the sole focus. Let's do that. The tour should absolutely involve the reeds, but as Malik suggests, I think visitors will want to learn about other aspects of Hanu culture too. Perhaps giving them a tour of local settlements will serve as a worthy introduction to our traditions. Yes, yes. I think the plan is coming along nicely. To summarize, if we begin by guiding guests around the villages, they'll see how reeds are so tightly intertwined with the Hanu culture. That way, they'll appreciate the precious resources growing in your paddies all the more. I was so excited about showing visitors our fields, I hadn't considered that they might want to learn about the normal everyday lives of we Hanu too. I appreciate the suggestion. Consider also having a range of handicrafts on offer that the visitors might purchase, if so inclined. Perhaps a mix of practical household items and more esoteric trinkets, charms, and the like? Alright, let's head to Breath Between next. Selhali has proposed a walking tour of the river. Not to be waiting for us there. I completely lost track of time. My attention was whisked away by the endless waters of Kuzu. I'm not. Yeah. If you didn't already know, Kucheg means big tongue in our language. If you aren't careful, you might find yourself slurped up and taken off by the current. You know, I bet insights into the language like that would prove a hit with visitors. I'm glad you think so. But I'm still a little unsure of my plan. The idea is to guide guests along the river, explaining the language and local history as I go, but is that really enough entertainment? Leisurely educating stroll sounds delightful. I hope you're well prepared for any water-related mishaps. How about working in a spot of fishing, too? That's a thought, but Let's go for it.
I see. Offering an activity besides sightseeing is a wonderful idea. I appreciate your advice. Whatever form the tour takes, I want to make sure that our guests leave completely satisfied. I'll be sure to confer with Lilipu as I hammer out the details. Liplu. Time we went to see Chinohanu, to propose a magical spelunking tour in which visitors can marvel at the natural beauty of the world beneath our feet. To Cave Kikitoa.
I'm curious as to where this all leads, to be honest with you. Nope, can't go in that way.
There you are. I'm starting to feel lonesome waiting for you to arrive. Let's get straight to it, shall we? Cave Kikitola is the source of many minerals and medicinal ingredients. For generations, it's been held as a sacred site of healing. I am sure visitors will be enamored by the cave's natural beauty. But the route here from the village is long and arduous, and the interior is rather dark. I fear it might not be suitable reward for the challenge of simply getting here. Okay, given its symbolic importance, I think it's a splendid idea. Visitors could try their hand at collecting medicines and minerals, or are more concerned about the fiends nearby. But I am kind of concerned about that. This sounds like something I've heard of, like basically an ongoing, again, like adding activities, right? An excellent suggestion. Of course, with any such plan, respect for the cave and its significance for the Hanu would be paramount. The souvenirs we acquire in our journeys can be quite near and dear to us. I think visitors would love to take a piece of their trip back home, and the villagers could make use of any surplus materials as well. But as Chinohanu said that the cave is somewhat remote. We can't discount the possibility of tour groups running foul fiends on the way here. And I did think of that. Yeah. Perhaps we'd better off reserving this course for more seasoned travelers. I must say, the two of you are full of fine ideas. Starting to get excited. Just give me a little longer and I'll have my plan ready. But with that, you've heard all three proposals from our guides. I'm sure you're tired after all that traipsing around. Let's get back to Okanu, shall we? Well, that is the area quest. I'm planning on doing those another time. Probably gonna record those as well, since they're important mission area quests. We'll see. I've done all the side quests except for those specific ones. Oh. I missed it. I need to actually go out here. Sorry to have taken so much of your time, but you helped address the guide's worries and brought some excellent suggestions to the table. While we were out there, a question I've been pondering came to mind. What exactly is it that we're selling with the Terali Travel Agency? It's not as simple as peddling produce or providing a service. If we're unsure, we'll have a hard time enticing customers. For the longest time, I couldn't pinpoint the answer. But hearing those proposals made it crystal clear. We're in the business of ephemeral experiences. It's our responsibility to curate every moment of a visitor's stay and ensure they leave with wonderful memories that last a lifetime. That way, our customers will be sure to fall in love with Kozamuk and its people. I can practically hear my inner abacus clanking away, provided we hold fast to our principles and remember that we're here to serve our customers above all else. I'm confident they'll have no qualms about parting with their hard-earned pel. The Trolley Travel Agency will be synonymous with experiences both exceptional and unforgettable. I'll have to drive that message home when I promote our enterprise in the capital. Then there's the matter of making sure the benefits outweigh the burdens for the Hanu. Oh, there's so much to do! But before all that, how about we take a look at our soon-to-be-built base of operations near Dokpoga? Knowing my brother and Ukevu, I dare say they've made remarkable progress already. Good thing I've already attuned to this etherite. I should make it a preferred location. Apparently, they're ready to start construction. The blueprints have been finalized, and all the materials are to hand. Once the work is finished, then the countdown really begins. Here's hoping for satisfied customers and, more importantly, happiness for all involved, be they Hanu, Pelu, or adventurers extraordinaire. It's so wonderful to have you on board. Let us work together and make this a stunning success. And now it's populated. Because it was last time I came here, it was completely empty. Alright, so this is going to be the zone we built up. What do you say we get this thing built? Wow. Dang. Let's see how this place grows. With construction work on the Trolley Travel Agency complete, Liplu and her associates have their eyes set on establishing Hozamuka as a top tourist destination. Yet, a host of challenges remain before their goal can be realized. As a special advisor, it is your duty to offer support and guidance as they embark on this exciting new enterprise. Ohokale! Lally ho! Alright, let's see what they've got, shall we? So they're selling grade 8 dark matter and Gashao greens. I love that grade 8 has stayed the current grade, so all the grade 8 I already had is still current. So that's it, huh? Oh, that's just... Okay, let's go to the exchange. So let's see. Under the exchange... As of right now, the only thing in the exchange is materia. So I expect that to change as I gain rep with them. But that's it for now. Okay. Cool. Well,
I guess let's get a couple of these done. Assuming these are combat quests. I mean, they have to be, because I can't take them without... Who needs it? I'm pretty much 95 with everything. I was kind of getting... I got Samurai to 96. Ninja's kind of close. I'm not good with Ninja. We could... I mean, I am kind of Pelu. Dressed up for Pelu quests, right? What's this? Oh, Sephirotic. Yeah, use that, please. Ferocious foliage, fearful tourists. You're always worried about the predations of hungry fiends. It's heartening to see Doc Poga so vibrant and bustling, but the increased traffic has drawn some unwanted visitors. We're facing an infestation of Uots. If we're to protect our customers from these roving seedkin, we'll need to routinely thin their numbers. I appreciate the assistance of our special advisor in this matter. Sightings have been reported in the Stride of the Sun. Please survey the area and deal with any Uots that emerge. Community outreach in Vana'diel. It's heartening to see our staff taking their work with such aplomb. Nonetheless, I'm concerned as to whether the locals are coping with the change. After all, the Turali Travel Agency is the nation's first homegrown tourist enterprise. I'm sure there are those who have their misgivings, no matter how open-minded they appear. I don't suppose you're willing to inquire on my behalf? There's a Hanu priest in Vana'diel I'd like to speak with. Cheers, Penny Power. Preventative measures. Would you be willing to spend some time with the alpacas? The fuzzy creatures need extra special care in the heat and humidity. I was hoping you'd oblige. To maintain the herd in peak condition, peddlers periodically treat them with insect repellent. The recipe itself is courtesy of the Hanuanu. I'll give you enough vials of repellent to get the job done. Drop by the enclosure, sprinkle a few drops on each alpaca's back. That's all there is to it. Okay, so the quests are kind of in a nice circle, so... simple and straightforward, right? The alpaca murmurs contently with its lustrous coat gleaming. The creature looks ready to charge around in delight. You must have surprised the alpaca while it was drinking. Fortunately, it appears unaffected by the intrusion. Easy, girl, easy. They're just trying to keep you healthy. You hear the creature breathing softly. It seems completely at ease. Hostile presence. Okay. I guess I don't need to know my ninjutsu that well. Like, things just die. Whee!
Hello there, how can I be of assistance? You seek my thoughts on the matter of tourism. The Lipu initially outlined her plans. It struck me as a wonderful experiment, so to speak. But as with all experiments, the excitement comes with a degree of anxiety. What kind of visitors can we expect? How will the community weather the change? Such are our concerns.
Is that really it? Like, not even... There was only one fight in all of that? And it was super fast? Huh. Okay. I mean, I appreciate that because that... I mean, if you're going to do these every day, you know, and it's going to help... This is definitely going to help with the leveling I've been doing. Trying to get all my jobs leveled up.
Thank you for dealing with the Seedkin. For the time being, our customers need not fear for predators. In fact, we've just taken delivery of an extract known to ward off Ualts and their ilk. I plan to spread the repellent in the area as additional precaution. That said, such measures are by no means permanent. When the creatures return, I hope I can count on your help again.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of XP. I appreciate that.
Back what you gleaned from the priest.
Ah, so he's concerned about the type of travelers who might visit the region. In that case, we ought to let the Hanu know we thoroughly screen customers as part of our bookkeeping process, which helps dispel any misgivings. Either way, we must make sure the Hanu can reflect back and be thankful they supported us from the outset. I hope you continue to do your part too. How are the alpacas faring? I see. It always surprises me how creatures in the same herd can behave so differently. We've had to make sure we cater to their individual temperaments. The Hanu use the same repellent for their younglings. It's about as pungent as you expect for something that wards off the region's pests, but it's perfectly harmless. The Torelli Travel Agency relies as much on the alpacas as any other member of the staff. They're just as deserving of our finest care. And that got me a decent chunk. I guess in a small way, I kind of wish it'd be like almost a level, but you know, I mean, for how fast that was and how little work went into it, that's a decent chunk of a level. Let's take a look at the reputation that we got. So, yeah. Takes about 8 quests. So that means I'll have this done in like in about 2 days. Not long at all. So that'll get us to the first check. Cool. Well, that was much faster than I thought. I guess before I head out, anything else I can do? Let's do something quick. It's like 1 to 49. This is cool. So they redid Halatali. I've already seen it and I've been there. I haven't done it in an actual party because, you know, how often does Halatali come up in a party? For the most part, it's the same, but they have definitely updated the bosses. And I feel they're much more interesting now. Of course, I'm going to kill this thing so fast. Boom! Didn't even have to kill the stuff behind me. But that fire actually has mechanics now. Now here I can't get away with just running past everything. Yeah, that the fire sprite no longer has the fireplace for the ads to come in. It has a couple alternating AoEs and stuff to dodge. You know, it's nowhere near. I'd say the revamp on this is nowhere near the level that they did to what's it called? Copper Bell and. Where are they? Sestasha, Copper Bell, and the like. The revamps here are far more subtle. But things like the water phase for this boss now, like the boss will be in the water and all you have to do is get out. You don't have to fight the ads anymore while you're outside of the water, which makes it a far more interactive fight. And then the final boss actually has a, when he gets his invulnerability step, he actually has a shield. So you can actually tell that he's invulnerable, as opposed to just the... Before, it used to be just the AoE on the ground, and you'd have to realize it's like, oh, I actually can't hurt him. Jump. Three minutes, 29 seconds. Thornton's Reign, huh? I think I can do that. Hey, buddy. Miss me? I'll take a tower. I can do this! Wow, a 20-second paralysis. Good old Heaven's Word music. Ow! Can I just break Ascalon now? Please, just break it. Oh, hi guys. What's up? I can't help but get the feeling I'm being targeted. Ow! Pushing me into the edge. Damn, I love this shot.
I shall bury you when you're ready.
Bring it on!
Da, 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 da. Sickle of the heavens. It's kind of neat looking. PT-16, easy stuff. Hey there!
The unenlightened come. To me, my faithful. Come forth, scales of revelation.
If I remember right, I need to be on this side first.
I would know the weight of your
Nope!
souls.
I remembered wrongly. Whoops.
The unenlightened come. To me, my faithful.
Hey!
Come forth, scales of revelation.
I believe it's the same every time, right? So it should be okay over here.
I would know the
Yep.
weight of your souls. Can you bring equilibrium where one doth not suffice?
That's even faster. I could actually do that last expansion. Oh, apparently I don't have Sophia. Glad I did it then. The Great Hunt. I don't think I can do that one. Seed of Sacrifice? I don't think... That was a Shadowbringers one, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Warrior of Light. No, I don't think I can handle that. Okay, so I need to do 3 things. One's level 90 dungeons. Cool. I can handle the rest of that later. So... Right on. I think that worked out. Oh man, okay, glad. So I got the raid done, and I finally got the MSQ done, so now I can run those things on the weekly resets now, which is good, since the weekly reset is coming up tomorrow. Glad to have that done. Okay. Well, that was pretty much it. I'll probably put a stream out when I'm ready to move on to the... I want to kind of record the societal quests as I go. I mean, I know they're going to be kind of short, but it doesn't have to be that long. So... Right on. I guess this is a great place to end it then. Again, it's been fun. And it was nice to reminisce about Final Fantasy XI, to be honest with you, despite the fact that I didn't think I would be reminiscing it. Gotta turn the BGM off. I'm gonna go back to, the Gold Saucer. Unfortunately, Gold Saucer music will still get you copyright claimed. It's certainly annoying, you know? Ah, nothing good. Tell you what, man, my luck on these has never been great. But every now and then. Okay, yeah, well, like I said, I think that's pretty much it. The rest I can take care of here off stream. No need to kind of keep capture here. Hope everyone had a great time. And we'll see you next time. Oh, halikale! Until then.